My twin died when we were 12, but last week, she tagged me in a photo. The photo appeared on a Wednesday afternoon. I was sitting in my office, staring blankly at an email thread about quarterly projections when my phone buzzed. Instagram notification, you've been tagged in a post. I barely looked up at first. Probably a coworker tagging me in another team picture. But when I saw the username, my body went cold. Mara.Danvers, my twin sister, the twin who died 16 years ago. The post was a simple photo, grainy, slightly out of focus, like it had been taken on an old film camera. It showed a girl standing on a cracked asphalt road under a gray sky, a forest fading into mist behind her. The girl was smiling. She was me, or rather, she was her. The caption said, "It's been so long. Ellie, come home." My hands started shaking. I hadn't seen that nickname in years. Ellie. The only person who ever called me that was Mara. I clicked the profile, heart pounding so loud I could barely hear the traffic outside my office window. Joined May 2024. There were only 3 posts. The first was a black and white photo of 2 girls, us, sitting on a dock, feet in the water. It was taken the summer before the accident. The second was of an old house in the woods, half collapsed, vines growing through broken windows. The third was the one that tagged me. My stomach flipped when I saw the comments. There were only 2. One said, "She's not ready yet." The other, "She will be." For a few minutes, I just sat there staring. I knew it had to be a sick joke. Someone from our hometown maybe. Someone who'd found old photos and decided to be cruel. But something about that first image, the dock, the water, was wrong, because that photo wasn't public. It was one of the few pictures I'd kept locked away on an old USB drive. The drive I'd buried in the back of my closet in a box labeled "Do Not Open," and now it was online. That night, I drove to my mother's house. She lives in a small town 2 hours north, the same one where Mara and I grew up. We don't talk much anymore, too many ghosts between us, but I didn't know where else to go. The house looked smaller than I remembered. The paint was peeling, the porch light flickering, and the woods behind it were as dark as ever. Mom answered the door, wrapped in her old cardigan, eyes tired and wary. "Ellie," she said, like saying my name out loud hurt. "You okay?" "I got tagged in a photo," I said. "By Mara." She froze. Her face went white. "Don't," she whispered. "Don't start this again. It's real, Mom. It's her account." "No," she said sharply. "We buried that girl." I followed her into the kitchen. The table was covered in unopened mail, pill bottles, and a half-finished crossword puzzle. Everything smelled like lavender and dust. "You think someone's messing with me?" I asked. She didn't answer right away. Finally, she said, "Delete it. Don't respond. And whatever you do, don't go back to that place." "What place?" She looked up slowly, and I realized she was crying. The lake. I hadn't been back since the night it happened, 16 years ago. Mara and I went out on the water after dark, against our mother's rules. We were 12, wild, fearless. The fog came in fast, and by the time we realized how far we'd drifted, we couldn't see the shore anymore. The boat capsized. They said I was lucky, that I made it to shore, but they never found Mara's body. That night, I couldn't sleep. I kept thinking about the post, about the caption, about that word, home. At 3:04 a.m., my phone buzzed. Another notification. Mara Danvers posted a story. My heart lurched as I clicked it open. It was a video dark, shaky. The camera moved through the woods, my woods, until it stopped at the edge of the lake. The surface rippled faintly in the moonlight, and then the camera turned around. For a split second, I saw a girl's face reflected in the water, smiling, my face, and then she whispered, almost too quietly to hear, "It wasn't supposed to be you." The story vanished. I stared at the screen, my pulse hammering in my throat. My reflection in the window looked pale and foreign. Then my phone buzzed. Again, a direct message from Mara Danvers. Just one sentence. "I can't cross until you remember what you did." My hands trembled as I stared at the message. "I can't cross until you remember what you did." It sat there on the screen like it was waiting for me to respond. The scene notification pulsing faintly. I wanted to throw the phone, delete my account, call someone, anyone, but there was no one to call. Not really. I tried to tell myself it was a hoax, some sick game someone from my past was playing. But there were details in that video that no stranger could have known. The shape of the trees, the angle of the dock, the way the fog rolled over the lake's surface. Those details were ours. I didn't reply. Instead, I went into the kitchen, poured a glass of whiskey, and sat at the counter staring at the phone. The hum of the refrigerator was the only sound in the apartment. At 3:18 a.m., another message appeared. "You shouldn't have." Full story on my channel, link below.